everyone. I am in the downstairs kitchen and I am baking up a storm today. I am making my grandpa's famous monster cookies. It's Angela, the inquisitive farm wife, and I'm so excited that you're here with me in the kitchen today. I am participating in a cookie recipe exchange. Our host, Jenny Goff, over at Jenny's Scratch Made Kitchen, has opened this up. So there's a bunch of us she's gathered up today that are going to be posting videos, but she wants all of you that want to participate to go ahead and post a video too. You've got all weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to post your video. And if you don't want to post a video and you have a great recipe to share, we want to know in the comments down below. Glad you're here today. If you're new to my channel, I'm all about cooking in the kitchen, canning, preserving in all different ways. I have a hobby homestead where I hand milk my cows, goats, chickens, all sorts of animals. We just have a lot of fun around here, and I would like to invite you to go ahead and subscribe if you aren't already one of my followers. Today we're going to be making my grandpa's famous monster cookies. We had those all year round, but definitely was something that he would have when company was around in the holiday time. I've gathered up my ingredients. I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and let's get started making these cookies. Now, my grandpa used a small KitchenAid mixer. You've probably seen me using it in my upstairs kitchen. I have his second one, actually. I upgraded to the larger one, but you know what? I have to be honest and tell you that as much as I love my KitchenAid mixer, when it comes to breads and cookies, it's my Bosch all the way. If you'd like for more information about what Bosch mixers and Nutri-Mill grain mills are all about, down below I do have a link where you can check them out. I talk about my Bosch all the time. I love it. But even today, I hope she can keep up because Grandpa's recipe makes 9 dozen cookies. Today we're going to be making monster cookies, so we won't get that many, but it's a lot of cookie dough. Let's see what she can do. I always like to start by creaming my butters and sugars. We need an entire pound of sugar. Make sure your hands are nice and clean. When we cook in the kitchen, we wear our apron and we have clean hands. We need an entire 2-pound bag of brown sugar. So for now, that's all I'm going to put in here, and we're going to kind of cream this and bring it together. I'm going to start on one, and then I'll slowly bring it up. I'll let this go until the sugar and the butter are well creamed. Okay, folks, let's see if you can see this. That's blended well. Next, we're going to add an entire dozen or so of eggs. I'm using farm fresh. We'll go ahead and give this a quick whir. Next, we're going to be using 3 pounds of peanut butter. Grandpa always used the creamy kind, but here today I am going to go ahead and use the chunky. My husband loves chunky peanut butter, and I think the addition of the nuts could be fun and interesting, and I have it on hand, so that's what we're going to use today. Okay, let's go ahead and blend this together. And while this is going, I need to rewash these hands. She's not full yet, so let's add a few more ingredients. We need some vanilla. This is my homemade vanilla, and it's just about to the end, but we're going to add about 3 tablespoons in here. You know, I'm not really one to measure vanilla. Vanilla is one of those things where it's a glug or a dump. You measure with your heart. My heart loves vanilla. We also need 3 tablespoons of Kayro syrup, corn syrup. Now, I know some of you are against corn syrup, but I'm telling you, since I started baking, I have found that by adding just a little bit of corn syrup, that's kind of the secret that those specialty bakeries use when they make cookies. It just gives them a little extra the vision of what it looks like. It's like almost a little shiny or something. I don't know, but that is the trick to the crunch of the cookie on the outside. I don't know. It's just a professional trick that Grandpa knew years ago. We also need some baking soda, and I'm not sure why he put down 8 teaspoons. That's what we need. But did you know 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon? So let's see what I have left here out of this box. So there's about 3 teaspoons. Good thing I've got this new box open. There's 6. We'll turn this up to the 2 teaspoon mark. And there's my 8 teaspoons. I like to go ahead and put my baking soda in a Ziploc bag because it seems like when you open it, it just can really make a mess. And it just makes me feel a little bit better to have it in some sort of container. Okay, we're going to stop here and we're going to mix all this together. Well, there looks like there's a little room. So we'll go ahead and get this next part started. But it may not all fit. We need 20 cups of oatmeal. I have 3.5 pounds. I believe this is going to be about 20 cups. Okay, so now at this point, I am just going to kind of gradually put in a couple cups at a time of the oatmeal and mix it, and then go back, put a few more cups in and mix again until I get through the entire bag. Okay, she was going. She made a bad sound. You know, this mixer must be at least 25 years old. Probably bought this 3-4 years ago used, and the lady told me that it was probably getting close to 20 years old. So I tell you what, that goes to show what an amazing machine this is. My only regret, having not got one sooner. I would have gotten that instead of this one. But what this can do with cookies and breads is unreal. I was short just a few cups of oatmeal, so I'm going to have to go dig in the cabinets and see if I can't find some more. Okay, I am back. So take note, we can't use the whole batch in there. It's okay. It's all right. Don't tell my daughter. I'm going to have to get into her oats. She just bought this. She's making, she makes those power snacks, the Power Bite balls or whatever. So we're going to have to steal about a cup from her. Before I add anything else, I want to go ahead and try to incorporate this and see what it feels like. You definitely get an arm workout when you make this full batch, especially if you make it by hand. Because when I was first married, that's how I made it, was by hand. I didn't have any sort of a mixer or anything that could, even a hand mixer could not probably handle this very well because it gets pretty stiff. There's no flour in this dough, you might notice. Let's go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients. M&M's! And it's the time of year where usually you find the green and red ones, but promise you, any M&M will work. So we need an entire pound of those. I had to weigh these out. It's about 1.5 bags. Used to be 1 bag was a pound. Same with the chocolate chips. They're not a pound anymore either. It was 10 ounces, I think, on the M&M candies. And then I think these are 12 ounces. So it's about 1 1/3 bags. So today I'm using the mini chocolate chips because that's all I had on hand for semi-sweet. But if you're making the really big cookies, it's nice to go ahead and use regular sized chocolate chips. But these work good if you use a smaller scoop. And I just want to dig in and mix this up really well. We want an even disbursement of chocolate chips and M&Ms. Now it's time to make our cookies. I want you to see this scoop. This is my extra large scoop. It's the one that I use to make those super jumbo muffins. Okay, so we're going to grab this. We're going to kind of push that down a little bit because that is way too thick. Plenty of room for these to expand. So I think we're only going to put 3 on each tray. And these are really big trays. I don't know if you noticed that, but these are like the full sheet pan size. So I would put 2 on a normal cookie sheet. And on a normal size cookie, you would bake it for like 10 to 12 minutes. So we're going to be baking these for like 20 to 25 minutes. I'll be making several batches. But I tell you what, these do freeze really well. My grandpa, who took, well actually it was grandma, would take old butter tubs and whipped topping containers, and she would stick these in there, and then she would bring one out whenever any company would come over, and grandpa would make a batch, and it would last them for several months. I just want to make sure that the M&Ms are kind of all in there. My husband, one of his fondest memories of going to my grandparents on that side is he said, they would just stick those cookies in your mouth. You walked out of there, you couldn't even move. So you had to be prepared not to go on a full stomach. That there was going to be some sort of a treat if you went to their house. Probably about halfway through, I'm going to go ahead and turn these pans around. Okay. Now we wait. It's been about 18 minutes, but I have this on convection oven. So, oops, boy, that's slick. I don't want them to overcook. So I'm taking them out here at 18 minutes, and I think the next batch, because the oven is very warm, I may not bake them quite as long. Now I gotta let these cool. I'll start putting them on cooling racks before we package them. We ended up with 4.5 dozen of these big cookies. Let's package them up. I want to just individually wrap these with some cling wrap. So I'm going to cut a square. I'm going to turn the cookie upside down. And then I'm going to start wrapping around the cookie so that it's nice and pretty on top. And then on bottom is all your excess plastic wrap. And then I'll probably put a label on here somehow stating what kind of cookie it is so people know. Thanks so much for coming along with me while we made my family's favorite monster cookie recipe. It was great to go down memory lane and think about my grandpa and all the times that he would bake cookies for us. And so it was fun to get to do that today with all of you. Make sure you go check out all those other videos to find more amazing cookie recipes. Bye for now, friends.